I like being here in this physical body. This physical body is serving me well. Clunk. I understand that I have come from broader perspective. And in doing so, I've come with reason and purpose. I like the idea of having deliberately come into this physical body. I've heard, and it makes sense to me, that the larger part of me remained non-physical, and that non-physical part of me is aware of me, and that I've come for expansion that is natural and for the fun of being physically focused. I get it that I'm a leading edge creator, and I get it that this time-space reality is about that. And I'm appreciating the contrast that helps me, specifically me, to choose. And I like the sense that as I get to choose, that I'm backed up by non-physical awarenesses that support that. I like the notion that I create my own reality and that I can be or do or have anything that I choose. I can feel that I'm not here alone, and I'm not just talking about the other physical people who are around me. I can feel a focus of non-physical energy flowing through me, and at times I feel it so profoundly that I believe that I'm feeling the enthusiasm that they feel for my life, as if it is not just my life, but our life. It feels to me that I am a representative of source energy, standing right here in this time and space, and I like being that representative of source energy. I like getting to select from the things that are around me and getting to choose specifically about this time and space. I'm understanding more every day that this is what is at the basis of the evolution of all species. And I can feel that this is what puts the eternalness in eternity. I can feel that me here in this physical body, sifting and sorting through the variety that surrounds me and coming to my own personal conclusions about what would feel good for me, I can feel the power of the purpose in that. And I revel in knowing that I'm here to live just exactly that. That makes every piece of contrast that I live a wonderful thing, because from that awareness of variety, I get to choose specifically what is important for me. And with each choice, whether I'm speaking it out loud or whether it's an unconscious feeling somewhere in my body, I'm launching rockets of desires, and I can feel the source energy is following those rockets of desires. And the reason that I know that source energy is following those rockets of desires is because I have a guidance system within me that lets me know when I'm going along with it and when I'm not. And I've come to know over time that whether I go along with the expansion of my own being, moment by moment or not, my inner being takes every bit of expansion and stands as the symbol, as the being, as the vibrational basis of all that I have become. And it is exhilarating to me to know that that basis stands there beaming a constant signal toward me, that I can tap into at any time. And I can feel the enthusiasm of that when I do tap into it. I can feel when I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the energy that creates worlds that is flowing through me. I feel invincible at those times of alignment, and I feel worthiness beyond ability to speak in words. I now know that I am the creator of my own reality, and I'm so appreciative of everything that exists in this physical time and space that gives me the basis of my new clarity about what I want. I'm happy living out the days of my life in this physical body. And I feel such exhilaration at knowing that anything that this time and space even hints or shows me that I might like, it can deliver to me in full fashion. Because if this time-space reality has given me the inspiration for the desire, it has the ability to give me, and I have the ability to translate it into the fullest physical form. I love the idea of turning thoughts to things. I get it, that that's who I am, that is what I was born to do. And so I revel in knowing that along with all of the other people on the planet, I get to turn thoughts to things, thoughts to things, thoughts to things, thoughts to things, thoughts to things. And there are so many ideas that I have within me that I am joyously watching turn to things. There is nothing in all of the universe that I enjoy more than to be in the sweet spot where I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on, in perfect vibrational alignment to the source energy within me and flowing my attention toward those things. Nothing is more exhilarating to me than to have my valve wide open and the energy that creates worlds flowing through me. And I really, 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 really like demonstrating the results of that alignment. And I don't mind demonstrating results of that not alignment, because understanding the laws of the universe as I do, I'm in complete control of everything that I am living. And I am happy about that. Now, we felt so good about all of that. And maybe you could hear it. Esther translates our enthusiasm into volume quite often. Maybe you could feel it, but that is the rampage that we are offering to you and about you. We'd like that you are the creator of your own reality. So now what?
Okay, so the last question.
So we also want you to know that we know that you know everything that we just said. As we were offering that rampage, you were not offering contradiction about it. And the reason that you were not offering contradiction about it is because there was no contradiction within you about it. We were speaking in what you would call general enough terms that we didn't activate any belief in you that contradicted anything that we were saying. We didn't activate any belief in any of you that contradicted anything that we were saying. But if we were to get really specific, I want to create $1 million and I'd like it this year. All kinds of activation of all kinds of, and so the key to momentum is to stay off the subjects that contradict the energy flow. If we could convince you that that's all you need to do, stay off the issues that activate resistance, and your momentum will be such that anything that you want can come about easily. So now?
So would it be wise to, when I meditate, just to do rampages and be in alignment without being on any specifics then? Would that be?
Well, meditation is a different function from our perspective than a rampage, because meditation is a process by which you quiet your mind, which allows your vibration to rise. Where a rampage is already recognizing that you're in that high flying place and then speaking more and more about it in order to cause the energy to move even faster and fuller, or for the purpose of becoming more specific. So if during meditation you begin to feel that sort of exhilaration, and if during meditation you begin to have some of these thoughts, then ride with them. But don't sit in meditation for the purpose of getting that going. Does that make sense to you? Don't use meditation to consciously overcome resistance. Don't use meditation to use your words to overcome resistance. Use meditation to quiet your mind to overcome resistance. Meditation is the quieting of mind. A rampage is an activating of mind. So all we're saying is, don't activate your mind unless you know for sure that you're flying high. Does that make sense? Sometimes people say, oh, I'm really in a bad place. I need to get a rampage going. Oh, life's really good for me. No, it isn't. I'm really in love with the person I live with. No, I'm not. This is just a beautiful person. No, you're not. You're ugly. In other words, because how you feel, if there's already momentum going, then when you try to do a rampage, all that's going to happen is you're going to dig in. The beliefs that you hold are going to contradict the new things that you want to say. And so that's why quieting your mind. Start on a new track with no engines pulling in any direction. That's what meditation will do. So this is a good analogy. So let's say that you are worked up about something. Maybe someone has hurt your feelings, or maybe they have betrayed you in some way, or maybe something's gone wrong with your physical experience in some way, and you are in a negative place. Lots of engines stacked up, going in the direction that you don't want to go. So you say, well, I need to think about this. Well, the more you think about it, the more engines you stack up. Or the more defensive you become, the more engines you stack up. The more justified you are, the more defensive you are, the more engines in opposition you stack up. So you sit to meditate and you quiet your mind. And at first, you have a hard time quieting your mind because you've got this big problem and it's just raging within you. But you manage to focus on your breathing a little bit. So in between your long breaths in and your longer breaths out, in between, breathing in, and out, 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 out. And then in, and then out, 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 out. In between that, you're still having thoughts about this wrongdoing that has happened to you. But the more you focus upon your breaths in and your breaths out and your breaths in and your breaths out, then one of the engines just stops pulling. And the longer you do it, then another engine just stops pulling. And the longer you do it, then another engine just stops pulling. And after about 15 minutes, now it might take you 13 of those 15 minutes to quiet your mind. But usually at the end of about 15 minutes, if you have really focused upon your breathing, all those contradictory thoughts will have subsided. And now you're on a neutral track. You're not being pulled in opposition to what you want. And as you stay in that place, maybe 5 minutes beyond that chilling out feeling, you may think, because now you're in the receptive mode, you may translate a vibration to a thought, to a positive thought, and you'll feel a little momentum. That feels better, you may think. This was a productive use of my time, you might think. I'm going to do this often, you think. Feels so good to relax. Maybe things are working out for me. I sure do feel better. I like to be in a non-resistant place. I like thinking about things that feel good. I like remembering who I am. I like being the deliberate creator of my own experience. I like thoughts flowing that feel good. I like to see the best in others. Clunk. I sure feel better. I really like clearing my mind. I want to be the deliberate creator of my own experience. Clunk. I sure feel better. I like quieting my mind. I like knowing that all is well. Clunk. I like knowing that things are getting better. I like knowing that I'm the creator of my own reality. I like knowing that I can accomplish my point of attraction. I like knowing that I've put so many things in my vortex and that law of attraction is gathering them for me. I like being in the receptive mode. I like being tuned in and feeling the clues at the right time. I like good timing. I sure like being alive in my physical body. Now, that may be as far as you go in that 5 minutes, but oh boy, do you feel better. And you know what? You don't have to be in a state of meditation in order to continue that momentum. Now, you open your eyes, you're back in what you call your real world, and now, with just that little bit of releasing of resistance and that little bit of gaining momentum in the other direction, now your real life happening in real time, moment by moment, can begin to happen. You might have gone out into your car on your break or on your lunch break. You might be sitting out on a porch somewhere where no one else is around. And now you're stepping back into your normal environment, which caused that negative chaos to begin with. But now that negative chaos, it's different because the momentum of it has stopped. Now you are a new point of attraction walking back into the same space. And now aggravating people can't rendezvous with you. Now a whole different set of circumstances is potentially lined up for you. You see how it works?